Hi guys, welcome to today's FAQ. If you're looking to buy your first Birkin or Kelly, be sure to watch this episode. We are doing an in-depth comparison between three sizes, the 25, 28 as well as 30. We are starting our comparison with our very first bag that just reached our studio today, which is this K25 Blue Zanzibar Chevrolet Salia Palladium hardware. It's a pretty rare specs because most of us usually see K25 Salia in Epsom leather, like the ones that we have here. So this one is in a matte Chevrolet Chandra leather, which is very rare for this size.
Okay, in fact, this is the first time I'm seeing Chef Chandra. So visually, I thought they actually look quite similar, as in the Chef Chandra and the Epsom, but on closer look, right, you can actually see that the grains are much smaller on the Chef Chandra, and this is actually goat skin, whereas this is calf skin.
Correct.
Yes.
And there is also a line which is very typical for Chevrolet leather. I have seen most sellers where the Chevrolet line is right at the center here, but for this bag, it is at the back of the Kelly. Another difference for this Chevrolet Chandra leather that I noticed is although it is the same cellular structure, it is a little bit softer than the usual Epsom leather. So I think you do have to baby this bag a little bit when you are carrying this on a daily basis. But because it's softer, I do feel that it's probably easier for us to open and close the bag.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I think it's quite like, best for ladies who wants a structured look,
Yes.
but easy to open and close. Next, we also actually have another Kelly 25 Salia in a very neutral color gold, Epsom gold hardware. There is always like this debate or clients asking us, should I get the e-taupe or should I get the gold? Yeah, so this is because these two are the most sought after neutrals for a mess, especially for a Kelly.
Personally, I like the e-taupe K25 gold hardware a little bit better because I feel that e-taupe is a really nice neutral color. It's neither black nor grey or even brown, you get what I mean? So it's like the best of both worlds.
It's like grey with a hint of brown.
Yes.
Yeah, so you get a combination of both neutrals. I do agree, actually between these two, I do prefer the K25 e-taupe as well. That's because personally I feel that for a mass gold color, to me it is a color that is more autumn-winter. So if let's say if I'm not living in Singapore and I'm living in Europe where there are seasons all year round, then this will be a very nice color to bring out during the winter time. A little issue that I have with the Kelly is really the strap because I'm very petite. So no matter what is the size of the Kelly that I buy, the strap is still a little bit too long for me. So whenever I carry a Kelly, right, I usually have to attach with my own external strap from Delvo or from other brands so that it's easier for me to open and close. Yeah, but for yourself,
It's okay.
I think
It fits nicely around my waist, hips area. So
it's not too long.
Not too long.
Yeah, so do take note of that if you guys are like around my frame.
Yeah, as much as I love the Kelly, I do own a Kelly 25 in grease pale.
Very white.
Yes, it's very wide. I love it. Yes, but I do have to mention that it's a little bit difficult to open and close.
Yes,
so
this
that's also
part
a
here.
concern.
Correct.
That's correct.
So this part here is a bit rigid, right?
Correct, especially around the flap area, I feel. So have to be extra careful when opening and closing.
Yeah, and also because your bag is in the whitest white
One
shade.
of the whitest white.
Yeah,
one of the whitest
so
white.
I think you have to think a little bit like what you're gonna wear
Correct.
before you.
I usually coordinate my outfits. I avoid wearing dark color clothes or even denim. So I usually wear the lighter ones like white, pink.
Yeah, in
pastels.
event of color transfer. Another issue is also if you are carrying a white Kelly, right, you probably have to be extra careful in crowded areas because I feel like, there's this tendency to knock into things and
people.
Yeah, correct.
And here we have another Kelly 25. It looks very different from the Epsom one. This is actually in Swift leather and rattan style. So the most obvious difference between this one that I'm holding against the Salia style is you can actually see that there's actually piping on the sides because this is the rattan style and this is of Swift leather, so it's much softer.
Other than Swift leather, it also comes in Togo leather actually for K25 rattan.
Okay, the second difference that I noticed is also the contrast stitching that's, from my understanding, is only available on the gold and e-taupe colors.
Correct.
Yes.
So the stitching is in white for the structured cellular silhouette, and then most of the colors actually comes in matching color stitching. And then for the raton style, if you see this in Ethiopia and gold Togo leather, you will see that the stitching is on the Kelly flap here. This part here, because the piping is sewn in a way that is on the reverse side, so you don't see the stitching. For the contrast stitching, it's also available when you special order your Kelly from the boutique.
In other words, it's a horseshoe stamp bag.
Another size that most people consider when buying a Kelly is actually 28 cm. So what we have here are two Kellys to compare. This is actually quite a rare specs. We don't see it these days because the Kelly raton style, most of it are in Togo leather, whereas for this bag, it's actually in Epsom leather. So it has a certain structuredness to it, but very easy to open and close. This is our Candy Kelly 28 in blue electric with contrast stitching.
What is a candy?
Candy basically means like all the pop colors. This is only released, I think, more than 10 years ago, where they released a series of pop color bags like blue electric, rose tyrant colors, and then they have it in contrast stitching and only in Epsom leather, plus the interior is actually a different color.
With me, I have a Kelly 28 in grease pale palladium hardware Epsom cellular style.
And as you can see on the interior leather for the Candy Kelly 28 is actually blue Mykonos.
So comparing these two Kelly 28, even though both are in Epsom leather, because this is in the cellular style, you can actually see that it's much more structured, whereas the raton style in Epsom leather is much softer as well.
Yeah, and also because it's cellular, right? Somehow visually this K28 grease pale looks a bit bigger, right?
As compared to this one. I think the Kelly 28 makes a very nice work bag because you can definitely easily fit a tablet into the bag.
Actually, I think K28 is a good bag for travel as well. Yeah, especially in raton style because there's so much space inside and it's very easy to ease of opening and also ease of putting through your wrist. The ultimate battle is always a debate, you know, whether B or K. So now we are going to move on to B, which is B for Birkin. We have a few Birkins with us today. So we have this B25 Beton Togo Gold hardware.
With me, I have a B25 Ethiopia Palladium hardware.
As of now, I think the most sought after size for Birkin is still the Birkin 25 in
Wish
Togo leather. Yes, this exact specs or
B25 black gold hardware.
yes, I would think so. Yes, B25 black gold hardware is the #1 choice, and usually there are a lot of requests for neutrals like Ethiopia gold hardware, gold hardware, and all the newer neutrals as well.
Actually, I do notice that the palladium hardware seems to be trending right now.
On a dark color.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
On black,
Correct.
on taupe.
Or a dark grey. Comparing both our bags, the veining on the Togo leather for the Beton B25 is a little bit slightly more obvious than the Ethiopia Palladium. So recently there are actually some clients who request us to look for Togo Birkin with less veining. But in my opinion, right, veining actually makes the bag very, very unique. It's like it makes it truly yours.
I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah, and it has like more personality to the Togo leather, I feel. Yeah, in the past, the older stem Togo leather actually got less veining, not as much as the recent years one.
As much as I love the B25, my littlest concern is this.
Have to be a
Very,
bit
very careful, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're someone who likes to wear a lot of bracelet, you know, like stack your bracelets, especially if your bracelet is the loose kind,
Correct.
like Van Cleef, where all the
Correct.
charms are dangling.
Correct.
Yeah, it might
get
be
caught.
correct. So that's a little issue lah. But Connie doesn't care.
Still getting it! Something that I really like about the Birkin that is like more than the Kelly is the ease of use actually. Because you can actually carry the Birkin with the flap down. So you can basically just throw things into the bag and reach into things in your bag easily.
I realized we're doing a comparison at the back as well. Comparison on top of comparison. Okay, but anyway, I also feel that the Birkin is a lot roomier than the Kelly 25 because of the wider base.
Correct.
Yeah, the base is a lot wider, and because when you carry your Birkin with the flap down, so as an open back look, right,
So
you
the base-
actually can stuff quite a bit of stuff inside. Can even put umbrella
Water
and
bottle.
cardigan and water bottle inside. Whereas for the Kelly, if you notice, because it's a trapeze structure silhouette, you probably won't put stuff at this part of the back here. So it's not as roomy as you think it is, yeah. Also, if you guys are intending to buy a Birkin Touch or you intend to carry your Birkin with the flap down, you can add a back pocket to your Birkin. Can refer to this video. Moving on to a bigger size, which is B30,
Yes.
not B28. Just
Side
now,
note.
just now Joe said, can you take out the B28? If there's a B28, it's something very wrong. Right now, what we have here is a B30, which is also in rattan style, Togo leather.
Yes, for mine, this is B30 in Epsom Cellier style. As you can see, even for the Birkins, it does come in a rattan and Cellier style. So mine is the Cellier style. And for Birkins, I think the Cellier style is more seldomly seen.
So now that we switched to a Birkin 30, once I carry the Birkin 30, I can definitely feel a significant weight increase compared to the Birkin 25.
Definitely. Of course, with the extra weight comes the extra space as well.
Yeah, so actually there are a few clients who bought Birkin 30 from us to actually store a laptop inside and use this as their work bag.
As much as I like the B25, but I really appreciate the handle size on the B30. As you can see, you can fit your wrist through comfortably just like your K25.
So a little care tip for your Birkin 30, because the hardware on this part here is actually quite heavy in contrast with the weight of the bag. So if you guys are not using your Birkin 30, do remember to actually put the second handle under the first handle and just store it like this so that it will not droop
It
downwards.
props it up nicely.
Correct.
That is if you don't want to.
To keep the bag in shape. Next, we are going to move on to a bit of exotic touch.
Yes. So with me, I have a B25 Touch in Novilo leather and shiny nylon rose gold hardware.
And what we have here is a Vert Cypress B30 Touch in Togo leather and matte alligator gold hardware. Previously covered on a detailed review on Birkin Touch. Basically, Birkin Touch is a mass concept of trying to be environmentally friendly, so they actually use the remaining exotic leather to put it on a Birkin and call it the Birkin Touch or the Kelly Touch.
So the exotic parts are on the flap, the sangles, as well as the handles.
In terms of weight, right, I noticed that one thing good about the Birkin Touch is even though these two bags, they are both in Togo leather, this feels a lot lighter to carry.
I think the allure of a Birkin Touch is that with the addition of the exotic leather, right, it kind of like stands out among the other solid colored bags.
Yeah, I mean like if you are a little bit sick of, you know, normal leather.
You want to change.
Yeah, you want to change, then you will go for a Birkin Touch. Also, personally, I do feel that if we put exotic leather on small parts of the bag or like a small bag like a Kelly 20 in full exotic, it's very, very nice, very exquisite. But if you have exotic leather on like a much bigger bag, it's a bit too much for my
Like a
liking.
big punch.
Correct.
Right. I do agree with you. I feel that a full exotic bag can come across as being like too strong.
A little bit loud as well, right?
Correct.
So back to the biggest question, Birkin or Kelly? After saying so much, okay, I feel that I'm more of a Birkin person because my first bag is a Birkin 35. But then that was then where Birkin is actually more iconic than a Kelly bag. Yeah, so that's why I feel like overall I'm more of a practical, like, yeah, Birkin.
I feel hurt. I'm being practical. I'm Team Kelly.
To be honest, like I have to think a little bit when I carry my Kelly out because I don't want like to open and close all the time.
Correct.
Yeah.
But regardless, putting all of those that I've heard aside, I am still a Kelly girl. Correct. I feel that the Kelly bag is iconic in its own way, very ladylike, which suits my dressing a lot because I usually dress up like very girly girl.
Yeah, correct. That's all for today's episode. Comment down below to let us know whether you are Team B or Team K. Do remember to also follow us at RMS Count member and tag us in all your H posts. See you guys in the next episode. Bye!